This is Channel Attitude. Your voice, your right, your freedom.
Jimmy! Ricky! You! Smack attack!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Smack Attack. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, R to the B to the V, and we are live on Hamid Media Group's YouTube channel and, of course, channelattitude.com after the fact. Rick, what is going on, man? And it's another busy week, I guess. Well, I guess we've slowed down a little bit, considering how much of a busy week we've had in pro wrestling the week before.
A lot going on, but back at it, hit with the 10 RBV. Little Rocky top edition of the Smack Attack. Hey, we're gonna break down all of last night's action. We do got some new headlines, but Jimmy, as you said, man, that Memorial Day weekend, man, pro wrestling takeover, like a new official wrestling holiday. A lot going on, but back to business. We just came out of that big weekend, and we've already got Money in the Bank right around the corner.
Man, I can't believe that. What is it, next week? I think next week's round of shows are the go-home shows, right?
Yeah, so we'll start with Monday night. We got our final qualifying for Money in the Bank. Then, of course, we have got these marathon sessions for pro wrestling here. A little bit of an overkill, especially with every 2 weeks. WWE seemingly with one of the marquee events or a PLE. But really, next Saturday, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of coverage here on the Hami Media Group platforms, but we have got Worlds Collide starting at 3 p.m. That rolls right into the pre-show for Money in the Bank at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then 7, whatever there for actual Money in the Bank. And then I believe, I don't want to do this to you, man, but this upcoming Wednesday, AEW is advertising a 4-hour Dynamite.
No, whoa. Hold on. Are you fucking with me right now?
No,
is it really?
It's that Fighter Fest, right? So isn't that a Dynamite? I hope I'm wrong. Brandon was
you're wrong.
Just during the watch along.
Wait. Hold on. No, it is Fighter Fest, but it will still be 2 hours. It won't be 4.
They have advertised a 4-hour special for it.
Come on, bro.
That's why I thought it had to be a pay-per-view or something, that they would say something like that. But you got to think.
It used to be.
You're gonna have a break for the scheduling there. Is coming up later the night. Big game 6 elimination potentially elimination for the New York Knicks as the Pacers. If Monday, if it does go game 7, that'll be Monday night. Then they've got a break. The NHL is on break until late next week. So this midweek, there's not a lot of competition sports wise for AEW, and the network might just be looking for something to fill up that airspace. I would lean more towards the Big Bang with some big ratings over a 4-hour Fighter Fest. But
dude, come on, that is just overkill for a normal. I mean, I know it's a special, but Dynamite always does like a special every second week. Let's be honest here, Rick. All right, if it's not Fighter Fest, it's Beach Break, it's Halloween, friggin' June. To them, they'll even do some bullshit like that. They always have some sort of gimmick on top of their Dynamite show. So, but to be 4 hours though, Rick, come on, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. I love doing the wreckage with myself in the vet, of course, but god damn, man, that means freaking having to put up with another 4 hours of Dynamite. That's just a little too much for me. But hey, we're here to do it here at HMG, and we'll do it for all of y'all, our listeners. So, got to do it. But speaking of the NBA,
Big game tonight. They believe. Big Ray, he believes. The Nick Nation, they believe. But, of course, here in the Midwest, we got that big chance of whoop them Knicks going. Whoop them Knicks. Whoop them Knicks.
And, man, I'm actually pretty hyped for this, right? I did say from the start that it was going to go to 7 games. But the way this series has sort of gone, it just feels, even though New York won the last game and it's only 3-2 and whatnot, I just feel that Indiana always has that step, sort of that one step ahead of New York. And it wouldn't surprise me if they cleaned them up. But to be fair, Indiana should have had the Knicks wrapped up even in the last game, dude. I mean, they were ahead by 20 points, I think, in the third quarter at one stage, only for them to choke.
Yeah, it is a comeback kid kind of world in the NBA. A lot of teams big time leads and not being able to close them, big time comebacks. I do think you're right though. Indiana, the better team, struggled in the first part of the season, absolutely. But man, after the All-Star break, when you really got to focus in, arguably, the best team, one of at least in the East there. Although what were they, the 4 seed, 5 seed, something like that. But I got to feel I'm looking forward to tonight's game. To me, when it comes to getting sports entertainment right over these last few weeks, it's not the call letters WWE, it's not AEW, it's been NBA. I mean, we got superstars, we got characters, we got storytelling, we got
fathers running onto the court,
false finishes, big time kickouts, big time spots. That's what the NBA has been all about. So hopefully tonight, Game 6, a more theatrics, a more edge of your seat, can't turn away from it. And if the Knicks can do this, if Big Ray can rally his team, get his boys to pull this thing off, we get Game 7 on Monday. Nothing better than a Game 7 elimination, if it be hockey, if it be basketball, baseball, whatever the heck the case might be. Those elimination games, so important. But Jimmy, we are also, no matter what happens here, tonight, Monday, the end of an era as we say goodbye to basketball on the TNT network. And arguably one of the best studio teams in sports.
Probably the best, in sports, easily, in my opinion. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Inside the NBA, for example, dude, and always have been for many years. And just to see that show end, say, for good, that sucks, man.
Yeah,
it really does.
You and I talking, maybe someone else going to pick them up. I heard rumors that ESPN might be interested. But I've also heard Barkley say that he's done. This is it, the final ride for these guys, at least for him. Hate to see those guys break up. It's the camaraderie, the entertainment, and just the personalities individually, how great they are.
Oh, absolutely, all of them. I mean, you got Ernie obviously, and you've got you got Shaq, of course, and if Charles Barkley is not going to be there, I mean, come on, man, like. I don't know, man.
You got the perfect storm, like the team there, which is going to suck. Definitely gonna hate to lose those guys on TNT, but a little bit looking forward to going back to nostalgia, that childhood, to the NBA on NBC.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember the theme? Actually, didn't the AEW play that? Funny enough,
I think they did at one time.
They did, bro. They did I can't even remember what the occasion was. But yeah, man, absolutely. Like that throws back a big nostalgic thing for the late 90s per se. I mean, that was a good time too, the NBA on NBC. So that's a cool thing. But like I said, inside the NBA, man, I don't know. But you know what, Rick? Do you think whoever wins this series, I think it's a foregone conclusion that I still feel that Denver will win the actual championship.
Okay, Kansas City.
Oh shit, that's right. They eliminated them. You're right. You know what? It's up for the pickings then, man, really. I mean, OKC.
No. OKC didn't just eliminate Denver. They manhandled them. OKC is on a different level right now. Take the time to watch them. They are so athletic, so deep, so damn good and dangerous. We have got the drama, the thrill here in the Eastern Conference Finals. But when you get to OKC, Oklahoma, they are going to be focused in. They want this thing. They are very, very talented. They could I could see them sweeping or winning the NBA championship in 5 against either the Knicks or the Pacers.
But are they? Is it their time now? I feel like they're a season away from being champions.
No, it's now. Right, the way they are clicking, the way they are playing right now. OKC.
You know what's even scarier, dude?
Thunder,
The amount of first round draft picks they've got too for the upcoming seasons, and they're looking for another big name player to add to the squad, dude, for next season. And if they win the championship now, and then they have all that shit in their bank, that's scary, dude. I'm telling you, with OKC.
Yeah, Ketty Powers is kind of right there. OKC wins this thing, and nobody remembers by September. Probably not the best of looks for the league right now, especially. And if you are the league, and I'm not one of those on a conspiracy thing where things are fixed, but they certainly do look at the markets and the visibility and the television ratings. So you absolutely want a New York in there. Those big 100%. Major spots.
It's the biggest market, dude.
Well, and you look at the comparison, just the hype there, because you could tell the story with the tradition, the rivalry going back to the 90s, all the big players, the names there with Indiana and New York. But of course, you got that New York market. People are so focused in on that. You didn't remember who won the Western Conference Finals, Jimmy.
To be honest,
because
I hadn't even been
it's
paying
Denver
attention.
and OKC. It's Denver and OKC. Those are not desirable markets. They do not have the history inside of the franchises.
That's true. I agree.
We were talking about TNT losing basketball. It's been 17 years they've had it. OKC's only had a basketball team for that long.
Well, technically, they are the Supersonics.
They succeeded all those. They succeeded all that history. They gave it all.
Even the
Seattle.
championships, though. I don't think the championship.
Everything is kept in Seattle. So they are considered a fresh start there. But anyway, the new home, the Thunder, has 17 years in the making to get to this point. Damn good team though, but not very good for TV ratings to have Indianapolis in OKC.
Oh my God! Imagine that though. When you think about it, right? That sounds crazy.
It couldn't be any worse than Denver and OKC for what you had in the Western Finals.
Yeah, I mean that's true too. But I'm surprised because I wasn't even paying attention to the Western Conference. I was more, honestly, from the Indiana and Bucks series. I was like more tuned to the East from that series on, and then of course the Knicks making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And now with Indiana, I was way more just into what's going on the Eastern side because obviously, like you just said, I mean, how easy did they win? What was the series score in the end?
4-1.
Shit. Damn. So I would make you thought Denver was going to go through, and I wasn't even concerned about the West. Wow.
They were ass kickings.
That's crazy,
I thought
man.
I thought you were more into the hoopla, buddy.
I am, dude. Like I said, I just didn't concentrate.
You're always rocking that basketball gear, man.
Dude, I wasn't even looking at the West. Like I said, man, I did for some reason I just didn't give a shit about the Western Conference. I am a Bulls fan technically, so not that we made the playoffs, but look out for the Bulls even next season, bro. They've got a good squad as well, but we'll see. I'm not saying championships, but the only thing with the Knicks before we get back into the wrestling, Tibbs, their coach, he can't get past this this is the highest he goes, man. You know what I mean? As a coach, I remember him at the Bulls.
This is the highest they've been in 25 years.
But that's true too. But he overplays his players, dude. They tend to drop off around this time of the year. But the Knicks have been something else. Let's be real. So we'll see what happens, man.
All the Knicks fans should be very, very proud of it. Well, we had mentioned they're talking a little hoopla action, the return of the NBA on NBC. We're looking forward to that. How about another big return? Some breaking news. I know that we do have a little interest from the Hameen Army over the chat because I've had some people reaching out to me, talking to me about it. I'm a big homer for it. Jimmy, we were talking before we hit the live button there. You're excited for this one. Pop it up there, Big Daddy. King of the Hill, the reboot. This is big. It's been teased for years. We had heard that they were in development, that they are actually doing the voiceovers. The scripts were ready. Now Hulu has finally released it for us. We're going to get it August 4th, the reboot, 2 seasons of it. I was telling you,
wow.
We get the look here of the new look Hill family, Hank, Bobby, and Peggy. Now the synopsis here, the premise behind this is kind of intriguing. So here's what it is here. This has been long awaited. After years of working a propane job in Saudi Arabia to earn their retirement nest egg. Hank and Peggy Hill return to a changed Arlen, Texas to reconnect with old friends Dale, Boomhauer, and Bill. Meanwhile, Bobby is living his dream as a chef in Dallas and enjoying his 20s with his former classmates Connie, Joseph, and Shane. So Hank Hill, Mr. Texas, Mr. USA, he sold out for that blood money, Jimmy. He took that blood money.
I can't believe it, dude. Like, when you told me that off the air about him being in Saudi Arabia and whatnot, that popped me, man, because I can't believe the show's back, man. I only found this out yesterday. And Bobby does look older, actually, funny enough. He looks like he's in his 20s now.
Well,
like,
it sounds like they aged him, from what we're hearing, about 8 years in
wow.
cartoon terms. So that would put Bobby early 20s, about 21 years old.
Just like the synopsis just said then. I mean, yeah, he would be in his 20s, but he looks like he's in his 20s. That's what's funny, dude, because you remember him as a little kid, you know? And now he's like, look at him.
Well,
that's crazy.
I was doing a little research. I was over on Facebook at a King of the Hill chat fan group, and there was a little bit of an interview that deep dive a little bit more into the layout we've got there. So apparently, overseas there, when they send Americans over to work there in the desert,
right?
They have like these very Americanized little towns that are set up so that the people can sustain like the lifestyle that they're used to. But these things, much like in wrestling, where, God damn it, pal, get me the Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna. So these little towns are like throwbacks, picture perfect 50s versions of Americana, the American Pie. Like they got the white
50s?
little picket. They got like the white little picket fence,
Oh, no shit.
Everybody's living the American dream. So when the
Back
writers,
in the 50s?
yeah. So when the writers put this together, they were trying to find a place in the world where they could send Hank away and then return him, where he is going to have to adjust to all these advancements that we've had happen in regular society over the years. So this is going to be like this very rude awakening as Hank is reintroduced into the life in Arlen that he once knew, or he thought that he knew.
Oh, that hypes me up even more. This is going to be good, man. And you said it's only for 2 seasons. Who you signed them up for?
So far, yeah.
Sorry.
So far, 2 seasons. There's what they'll have in the can.
Do you think it'll be a success?
I hope so. I was a big King of the Hill fan. I regularly watch them. It's usually on Saturday or Sunday morning. Right on Fox as part of their animation domination.
Exactly,
of course,
right.
all sorts of syndicate now. Adult Swim. It opens up Adult Swim each and every night. But these things are kind of tricky because you get that nostalgia. You want to be able to recapture that, and sometimes they have difficulty as they bring things into the new age. So hopefully it works out there for them.
Oh, let's hope so, man, because I'm hyped for it. I just hope it's good, but it sounds good so far, but we'll see.
Hey, I just popped big time when I saw Hank going after that blood money, baby. The Saudis got their hands on it. The Saudis can rule the world when they can even sway the one. Hank Hill, the all-American boy, Hank Hill, going to the sand, the land of the sand, a pimp, sweet lady propane over there. Jimmy, pro wrestling talk. Let's get into it. Are you with me, or we get our freeze frame Jimmy T? Is it that time of the show again? Freeze frame. All right, you're there. You froze for a second.
Internet just fucked up there for a moment.
Well, it's probably all that shit we were just talking about the Saudis. They heard us here. They're about to shut us down. But no, we love our eventual and new Saudi overlords. We love you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We love y'all, man.
In the U.S. Yes. Little PW Hustle professor in the house there.
Saudi propane made in the U.S.
Well, Hank and Peggy, they moved over to Saudi, but in the world of professional wrestling, Jimmy, we have got some movers and shakers happening inside of WWE this week. I was with everybody else. I'm sure you were the same. I know the vet and Big Ray, a very somber mood to open up this week's Next Level as the shocker heard round the world Tuesday night. Stephanie McCurry loses the NXT Women's Championship. Jaws were hitting the floor everywhere. People were shocked. I got to be honest with you. I almost turned off NXT because I just thought it was going to be a wash. That, she was just going to run leg shot over JC Jane there. I said, you know what? I will go watch something else here for this, a half hour.
Oh, no,
and I was shocked, man. I was absolutely shocked
Dude,
when we saw the title change. But it sounds like we're getting a call up. That Stephanie, we've already got the word. She immediately is going to be reporting for assignment this Monday on Raw. Potentially could be filling that last spot in the women's Money in the Bank. But it also looks like from internally that Jordynne Grace also going to be on the move to the red or blue. And this one surprised me. And maybe you got some more insight into this thing, but Ricky Saints as well after dropping the North American Championship.
I haven't actually heard that one actually about Ricky Saints, funny enough, dude. So I can't add on to that. But as far as Vakia goes, I wasn't I was surprised, but I didn't take it like, oh my God, why'd they do that? I instantly figured, I guess, that she was going to get moved to the main roster anyway, and as she should.
Yeah, well, to me, obviously, we've seen this coming. They had the tease. She's been making some appearances. We've already got Perez and Julia on the move. There is this, we regularly talk about this flux of tremendous talent inside of the women's division in WWE, especially in NXT. Too much for NXT to handle. They're going to be on the move. These ladies are hungry. They're going to come looking to claim these spots. So Stephanie, no surprise that she's moving up there. I think my shock was more into the decision to who they gave the championship to.
I know, that's weird, dude. I don't get that either. Maybe they see something in it that we don't see. I mean, it is a shocker why they would go that way. But, I mean, who would have you put it on at this point?
I haven't really thought about who I'd go with there, but there is a lot of talent there. Maybe they felt safe putting it on JC just because they know she's not going to be getting called up, so they know that they have a champion that's going to be in those ranks for a while. I just do not see it with her or Fatal Influence, is that what they're called?
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, Sol Ruka is probably the one that maybe they should have gone with.
But you got Soul, already with 2 championships.
Right, I know that's true too.
Got that friendship kind of dissolving situation in front of us. I'm looking around there. Maybe Jada.
Well, she's over enough. You could have gone that way, and everyone loves Jada. But I don't know if everyone loves Jada's backside or her more. That's the problem.
Yeah. Front or back, it's over.
It's over. It's over with everybody.
So not surprised that Stephanie is on the move. A little surprised about the decision that they made. I guess the one thing that they did prove me wrong on: don't tune out. You don't know what's going to happen. Jordynne Grace going back to Battleground. I had it by notes. Immediately said when she lost that match, she's ready. She doesn't need NXT anymore. It doesn't need her. She's set for that big stage. So that's not a surprise. Now, I haven't, like I said, that Ricky Saints, I just saw some rumblings. Maybe it was because he lost a championship. People immediately are jumping to this conclusion, but I don't know where he would fit in right now.
I agree. Where would you place him? You would be just like every other guy, dude. You'll be just there, probably taking some L's. I agree with you. There's no room for him right now at this moment in time. I think he's better off right now in NXT.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So it's just something to maybe keep our eye on. I think he needs a little bit more time to, just find his way in WWE and establish that name across those brands. Unless they're going to just shotgun him into something where he's involved with Cody, which I don't know if that's necessarily the best direction for him.
No way. I don't think they'll do that. Not yet anyway. And if they ever do that, don't be surprised if they don't even really acknowledge that, that history. But you never know. I could be wrong. But I just don't see it. I don't feel it either, man, with Ricky Saints right now on the main roster. I'd be happy for him to just stay there. They shouldn't just, put everybody just suddenly up, you know what I mean? But they do have an abundance of talent, in my opinion, in NXT, especially on the women's side.
Well, it's just, as Zane's saying, Ricky's going to be on SmackDown. it's just where do you fit in right now? And how does the puzzle pieces fit together for him? I'm not trying to knock his talent. I'm not saying that he is not ready for that level of stardom.
He's talented.
That kind of spotlight. It's just more of, again, putting together the pieces to the puzzle. Where do things fit? Especially as you're getting heated up here heading into SummerSlam build.
He could.
That's kind of what I'm guessing, but I just don't know if that's a smart thing to just kind of shotgun him into that. Jimmy, we also got other movers and shakers talents on the move. This one not within WWE, but a big Impact. Now, nothing about TNA. Yeah, how about that right there? Miss Mariah May, we got news. She has been removed from the AEW roster. Doesn't look like her contract has expired yet, but everybody in the damn business and their brother, mother, sister, neighbor, cousin, mailman, they all know that Miss Mariah May is WWE bound. This has been a big dream of hers, the place where she wants to be. And it seems like WWE is all board with bringing in their next blonde bombshell.
Oh, absolutely. Their next blonde bombshell. The only thing is, have you noticed a trend now in AEW, Rick? There's a bit of a trend going on now with some of these wrestlers. I mean, look at Camille, same kind of deal in some ways. It seems like, once they get to AEW, because the thing is, Mariah May was booked very strong in AEW. Let's be honest, dude. Former women's champion.
Well, she had a quick rise there, but and in her work with Tony Storm was some of the best, that AEW's had here in the last couple of years, even in their short existence, which is, we talk about the impact from AEW on the business. They haven't had that real boom, that like meteorite that just hits the earth kind of impact on the business here. But their best work has really come from their women's division.
Right now, yeah, in my opinion. But apparently no WWE wrestler can do the work rate that the male end of things do in AEW, Rick, according to Ospreay.
Yeah, Ospreay, he's got to fly their flag. He's representing that banner. Nothing against him on that. He knows where he's at here. But it's funny that you bring up Ospreay because there is a comparison here. Old Uncle Dave, crazy Uncle Dave, still tucking that T-shirt into his elastic band jeans. He was talking about this is where WWE thrives, is they rely on the dream, that they are the destination for talents like Mariah May, who Mariah will probably take less money in her WWE deal to fulfill that dream, to get that WrestleMania moment where you have individuals, as Meltzer said, but which is very clear, with like an Ospreay, and he also said in Okada that WWE isn't their ultimate end game, that they can't be swayed or they're going to take less money just for a WrestleMania moment. I think there's some fidelity in what he's saying there. And WWE relies on that they've been in the game. They are the destination. They are the dance, the end game.
They're the be-all, end-all, Rick. Whether they like it or not, that's the end game. Like you said, that's the be-all, end-all. If you're a professional wrestler and your end game is not to get into WWE, regardless of how shit he's run there and if all the rumors are to be believed, right? You're an idiot. Or you're just a mark for yourself.
You fucking mark!
Right. I mean, let's be real.
They got the history. They got the legacy. You're going to have the moment. You're going to have the exposure. Now, with you look at that long game where the parent company, is it WME?
Yes.
TKO, whatever, where all the acronyms.
WME, that's Endeavor, basically. William Morrissey Endeavor, whatever it stands for.
Right, okay, but all the acronyms in the world that they've got under all these different LLCs that confuse the shit out of the government.
True.
They've got the connections. They got the connections to move you on to that next level as well. So your exposure there is going to be 10 times anything that you're going to get in AEW. So yeah, you might be able to take that sucker, that lemon, and squeeze all that juice out of it from Tony Khan to get those paydays. But if you see a bigger picture, obviously WWE's there. Obviously that is the dream for those. You don't dream of going to Canadian football. You want to play in the NFL.
Yeah, I'd rather play in the CFL, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on now. Yeah, I know. It's true, man. I mean, look, AEW is no WCW, whether they like to think that, though. They think they're WCW. It's just WWE, no matter what, even if AEW's been around. Look, I guess they need a generation of people to come through for people to want to go to AEW, if you get where I'm coming from. Like the next generation of fans that are maybe wanting to become professional wrestlers. They grew up with AEW.
It would take decades for that to happen. You even go back, you look at in the 90s when professional wrestling was so hot and WCW was whooping on WWF at the time. You still, the dream was still WWF. They were still the ones that were recognized by the general populace. When
world.
When you say wrestling,
right,
you think you hear WWE, or even you get those old school people saying WWF still.
Right. No, absolutely. You're spot on, dude. I mean, let's be honest. On a world scale, WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call them now, I guess, they were kicking WCW's butt, even in pay-per-view buy rates. People never spoke about that, but when WWF was playing second fiddle on Monday nights, basically to Nitro, Raw to Nitro, pay-per-view wise, most of the times WWF was still beating WCW in the buy rate game, dude. And when you think about it, WCW pay-per-views back then were kind of weak compared to their TVs.
Well, and they knew. They were so just, zoned in. That was the target to win those televisions.
Right. And it worked. I mean, but everyone knew who WCW was, but on a world scale, it was always WWF. But I will say, during those times, I think WCW did get their, the foothold in on a world scale.
Yeah, they were
during the Monday Night Wars. Everyone knew what WCW was by that point.
Yeah, I mean, pro wrestling it was the leader in pop culture. It was out there in society. But again, going back to what we're talking about, it always has been a dream. It has been a destination. It continues to be. Now, more specifically here for Mariah May, how do you see her getting full, coming into the fold eventually with WWE, sorry.
I'd rather call it WWF personally, but anyway, I'm not sure. I was thinking about that before. Funny, I was going to ask you that question first. I was going to ask you, do you see him putting her into NXT or on the main roster? But I'm leaning towards they're going to throw her straight into the main roster, in my opinion, dude. I don't think she's going to go through NXT.
I don't know if she needs the NXT. I know there are those slight adjustments. They like those things. That's we just do that at the Performance Center, teach her anything that she needs there. What I do want to see is that bang for the buck. I mean, she immediately is an eye grabber. You're going to stop what you're doing and start paying attention. I jump right into it. I would have at some point maybe Tiffy and Charlotte out there doing their little mean girl thing. We all hate all of you. We hate both of you because you're both terrible people. There's no redeemable, likable qualities about either of them outside of Tiffy's titties. Those are the only two reasons that anybody would like her. You want to see both of them, just like Mean Girls, get hit by a bus. I would throw Mariah right into that.
It would work.
But I think Mariah actually has the theatric chops. She understands character, where she could probably come out and counter those two, still being very, very gorgeous, easy on the eyes, but could actually pull off a character that is likable, that we want to cheer for.
Oh, 100%. She's almost a total opposite to Tiffy, if you want to play her that way, if that makes sense. Because the thing about Mariah May, when you just look at
her on that, she's playing.
No, she can play both.
The girl you hate and the girl that the girl next door that you really.
But in saying that, she comes across as more genuine, though. When you look at it, like she seems like a loving sort of chick, if that makes sense. Whereas Tiffy, you take one look at her, it just screams like bitch, like period. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she can't help that though. She might be a nice girl and all that, but just the look of her. See, everyone's comparing Mariah to Tiffy, right?
That's fair enough.
Because they're both blondes?
No. Yeah, there is. I mean, that is the easy comparisons. They're both easy on the eyes. They have relatively same builds. The blonde. But I think when you really go back and look at Mariah's body of work, no pun intended there.
Nice.
She is more of a No, again,
Seasoned.
no pun intended. Oh, there you go. See, I was going to say developed talent.
Right.
We'll go with seasoned.
Same thing. But she is. She definitely is because she's paid her dues compared to Tiffy when you think about it. She went through Japan. You know what I mean?
I don't give a shit about all that. I don't care about all that.
Hey, like the professor said before, I'm
not gonna hate on Tiffy because she just she got to go to the bigs, what we were talking about.
Well, yeah, of course, absolutely. But the Japanese thing, I do agree with Prof. There was a lot of wrestlers that actually want to go to Japan also, like for the most part, and come back to WWE and whatnot.
That's stupid.
That is kind of true.
No, nobody wants to do that. You're an idiot. That's really? Just because, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I disagree with that. There are a lot of wrestlers that do love. Look at.
All right. If I give you a chance, a chance to, hey, Jimmy T, you know what? I'm going to send you immediately to the best company in the world, making boatloads of money, fame. You're going to travel the world. You're going to be recognized by everybody. Oh, you're going to turn me down because, hey, dude, I gotta go over to Japan and work on my strong
that's
style.
different.
I gotta go work on my strong style, get my stiff shots in. Yeah, maybe I'll come back to WWE in 5 years after I get my stickies.
I wouldn't do that, first of all, right? If I got an offer from WWE compared to Japan, of course I'm going to take WWE. So, like I said, that's the be-all, end-all, period, in professional wrestling. But I wouldn't mind doing a run in Japan just to learn shit. There's a whole other thing, other side.
Oh, what? Hello? Who's that? Oh, ESPN's calling me to call racing? Oh, no, I'm going to stay at the racetrack that I'm at because I'm a fucking mark. I'm a fucking mark. I'm from Japan. Come
on, bro. Come on. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. But as far as Mariah May goes, throw her right in. Straight away. And yeah, you know what? Have her and Tiffy be a thing. The only thing I'm concerned about with that, I don't know if you want to put Mariah May as that second, playing second fiddle to Tiffy right off the bat.
You know what I do?
I know what you're thinking.
Action.
Yeah.
Scissor me timbers.
You're a character.
Yes. Hey, you know what? We were talking about marks, Japanese marks, whoever marks. How about a total mark? She's not going to no longer employed by AEW. She seems shocked. You talking
about this person?
Yeah, abandoned. Apparently, contract is not going to be renewed. It's coming up here in June. I did these comments here on this. What we got here? My time with the AEW is coming to an end. My contract expires in June and will not be renewed. The emotions that I'm currently, what does it say here, trying to manage are difficult. And it's full of conflict of how she's going to handle herself at this time. Talk about a major mark. Dude, what was your favorite abandoned moment in AEW?
That she's abandoning friggin' AEW right now.
AEW's abandoning her. Her only claim to fame is an alleged story back in the day when Al Snow called her a fat ass. And
was he wrong?
That's what I'm saying. She takes the social media for the sympathy. And you know what? You're a demonic monster that crawls out from the depths of hell, and you're giving me this kind of garbage from social media that you're acting shocked and surprised that your contract's not being renewed. Hey, you know what? I'm not a rocket scientist, might be above my pay grade and all this, but I got a feeling if I haven't heard from Hameen in a year and he's not putting me on any podcast, I'm probably not getting renewed. I'm not going to be shocked by that.
I mean, it doesn't take rocket scientists to figure that one out, right?
Right.
What's wrong with this woman?
Something might be up if my boss is not contacting me or putting me on television for like a year.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand what is she surprised about? I forgot she even was a freaking wrestler at this point.
I think she forgets that she's a wressler the way she acts. She took the social media with that Al Snow thing. First of all, attacking one of the most beloved individuals. Ugly, bro. But that's fine. That's her gimmick.
I know. No offense. It's nothing personal, but fuck.
No, not everybody has to be a Mariah Man. We can't survive on that. We need diversity. We need different looks. We need body types. I'm not here to body shame anybody when it comes to this here. What I'm jumping on here is this difficult. I'm trying to process this. She has done other things on social media where she's totally exposed her gimmick. And I get it. RBV, you're out of date. You got to be in touch with the modern. It's social media age. People are putting themselves out there. Wrong. You can claim that, you can cry that all day, but it's absolutely wrong because it sits in people's subconscious when you expose your business. When you go out there and say, I'm not really this, then anyone can buy into that for you. No one's buying into what you're selling, no matter how big of a load of shit it is. That's what she had with hers. So, yeah. And she could have simply crafted a statement. She didn't really got to say anything, but if she feels the need to, she should have talked about remaining in a dark and deep place and how this continues on her torment of her soul. And now, but now she's going to begin lurking in other areas, other places on the indies or professional wrestling. But no, she goes with this crybaby shit.
I know. What's so Abaddon about that, right?
Yeah.
And she could have done herself a favor if she did what you just mentioned, which is a great thing, actually, that you said that, because she could have made herself actually more over to all these indies that would pay her money to come along by doing something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she forgot that she's a wrestler.
Go do some vignettes, put some quality into them, some airy settings, things like that. But no, now we're out here playing the sympathy card because she's a little millennial piece of shit that doesn't understand her business or how to get anything over.
They're on your side, Rick. They're on your side.
I tell you, man, right? Hey, man, I'll use some RBV out. I think that's why I was in a bad mood. I told you I was worried I was in a bad mood before we hit record. I haven't eaten today. I think that's it, man. So,
man. Well, like Kenny says, he's saying RBV eats out some pics of the dirty burgers from last week, making ribs for dinner tonight. Gonna take down a whole rack with some homemade mac and cheese on the side. Yeah. Decent.
I don't know what I'm gonna have there. I'm gonna have to think about that here, but I'm hot. I'm talking shit. You're talking
I love it.
Shit. Who else was hot this week? Talking some shit. And on MVP on Triple H, Jimmy. You want to break this one down? We'll just kind of
absolutely. I'll break it down. Well, MVP. Now I hate to make this a race thing, but it feels like with MVP, he makes it into a race thing. But this is what he had to say. And he says...
This is about Triple H.
This is not Triple H. This is MVP on Triple H.
Yeah, it's about Triple H. It's MVP's thoughts about Triple H.
Exactly. Spot on. So he goes on to say on why he has zero respect for Triple H and talks about how he chooses to book certain talent. And this is what he had to say. He goes, let's just say this. Bobby Lashley was a 2-time WWE champion. And after he took over, Lashley was reduced to the mid-card, and Bobby Lashley is a bankable, marketable guy. Absolutely, I agree with that. He sure is. Anyway, he goes on to say that, and he just got reduced to mid-card, whatever. What I said specifically in response to the person on my Instagram page was that you see it. It's my opinion of how he chooses to book certain talents. Some people say all the time that, MVP's just griping. MVP's just crying. Okay, well, just watch the program. Who were the people in the top spots under his leadership? Who were given the opportunities? And I'm not talking about NXT. I'm talking about the main show. I have my opinions based on my personal experiences. And at some point on my podcast, I'll talk about it and I'll go in depth about why my issues are with that man. And I'll be honest with you. My issues with him have nothing to do with race. Bam, bam. I'm sorry. But anyway, he continues saying, my issues have to do with him as a person and our personal interactions and things that he said and did that caused me to have zero respect for him. And yes, cold-blooded, that was real. That is MVP on Triple H. Now, Rick.
Triple H.
Okay, Triple H. How's that? Happy now? Anyway. What the hell is he? Why is he doesn't shut the fuck up? I'm a fan of MVP, man. But the more he starts bitching about this shit, it always comes back to the same old shit. whether he freaking thinks that or not. And I know deep down he knows the truth, but he's just saying that because he knows everybody's going to jump on him for the exact
I
same
think MVP
thing.
is the kind of guy, you ask him a question, he's going to give you an honest answer. And there is a lot of feelings from minority fans, especially those in the black community, that feel these ways toward Triple H.
Oh, man.
And you do look at this, and you do look at it, and there is some reason. You know, you look at some of the booking in NXT with some of the African American talents, and that gets lost somewhere when they go to the main roster.
Of course, but that happens. That happens.
No,
unfortunately, that's just the
going
beast.
to happen. That happens across
Right.
the board. It's just that we focus in on the certain group there. You know, I've always said this as well. You know, when it comes to the black wrestlers, we hear so often about the typecasting or the stereotype gimmicks.
Right.
Well, that's just as true for every other race.
Yeah, exactly. 100%, man.
It is.
Facts.
It's for every race, if it be Hispanic, if it be Asian, even for, Caucasian. There's a lot of just questionable gimmicks. You got to be the stuck-up white guy or something like that. Or if you got that bleach blonde hair, you're a white rich douchebag.
Right.
So we do get those. I understand that. I think there is a lot that's in here that MVP is talking about. When we just look at Bobby Lashley and how the hell did you miss on that?
That I will never understand. That's what pisses me off. But I don't know what's up with that. That is confusing.
Sonic there as well. He's like also could be talking about how Triple H pushes his boys or the smaller dudes. Because one of the biggest hits and misses, the mind bogglers of the last decade, is how the hell they continue to miss. And almost at times seemed like they were trying to embarrass Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, look, that was kind of off. That was weird. And yes, Zayn, it was Lashley.
Zayn, who was the most recognized black singles champion?
The most recent, he said.
Oh, recent.
Black singles champion. I think it was Lashley, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Lashley. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong because I can't think of anyone else. But look, Lashley.
I'll tell you who's a big black dude with a belt right now to keep your eyes on, and that's Obafemi.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But we're not talking about NXT here.
I know.
Remember, he said that.
Right. I know.
He specifically
I'm
pointed that out.
for the future, and if they drop the ball on him, then
They're
maybe
fucking
we come
idiots.
back to the statement that MVP put out.
But look, as far as Lashley goes, there must have been some sort of heat between them two, obviously. I don't think it's a racial thing, man.
To me, this isn't necessarily where it really jumped out to me. I don't know if this is race, but is MVP taking this shot at Triple H? Now, obviously, at this point in his career, MVP doesn't give a shit if he ever gets a phone call from WWE again or from Triple H.
Right.
But what does this do for Bobby Lashley if he would be interested in maybe going back there for a big payday or a big opportunity?
I think WWE is smart enough.
Or does MVP kind of know things that have been rumblings that Triple H might not be there too much longer? And he doesn't care what he says about this dude.
I mean, if that's the case, also, I don't know. There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that we're not really privy to. We hear all sorts of rumors and all sorts of shit. Something is going on. I feel it. That's true. That something is weird about behind the scenes in WWE. But Montez Ford, I agree, Gruss. I don't understand how you don't develop Montez Ford as a single star, but I also understand the predicament that he's in. Sonic says they're all carny bastards. It doesn't matter, but that's true too. but the race thing, I just don't like how it always comes back to race. Can't it just be fucking, can't it just be?
Oh, Jimmy, MVP said 9 times in his statement it wasn't about race.
I know that, but every other time he's complained, it has been a racial thing.
All right, that's one of those things too. So when you hear a black dude saying it's not about race, it's absolutely about race. It's just like when you hear a white guy try to defend himself by listing all of his black friends.
Yeah, I hate that shit too, man. Because it's like, all right, chill the fuck out. But like,
Yes.
I know, but that's what I mean. We're in 2025. We shouldn't even be talking that way. But the point is, he's right about them dropping the ball with Bobby Lashley. They're absolute idiots for dropping the ball with Lashley, and they dropped it bad. Absolutely agree with that, because Lashley is one of my favorite dudes in wrestling right now. Just look at the guy, man. I mean, how do you not push that guy all the way to the top? I would have him be champion for 2 years plus. Like, honestly, I truly mean that.
And if no matter what that situation is, what the case was, I hope that MVP is having some constructive, eye-opening conversations with Tony Khan as well, because the grass isn't so much greener on the other side of the fence with AEW. Now, sure, we've had Swerve completely swing and a miss on that championship run. That's one of the most frustrating things that AEW has done in their existence is how they missed with Swerve Strickland, a dude that just absolutely oozes the it factor, and they wasted his championship run. Right
It's
now,
not just
you got
AEW.
Bobby Lashley is doing. I'm sorry, I know he's got a tag team title around his waist. He's involved with MJF. Nah, should be bigger than that. Should be way better than that. Where the hell is Powerhouse Hobbs been? You should be putting
He's been
money.
He's been in the main event scene lately.
Yeah, great.
I'm just saying, like, but you're right. They dropped the ball with him years ago, really, but they're trying to push him to the top again, sort of, if you want to call it that. The thing with Swerve, it wasn't just AEW dropping the ball with him. His mouth also dropped the ball on himself. Because the shit, once he started talking about Booker T and the shit that he said then, and calling him an Uncle Tom, pretty much, I think he lost a lot of respect.
This goes way back beyond that for his championship run, and they're trying to make him a moveset mark. They haven't come out and go 50-50 with a mid-Carter before they even had the celebration. They had all sorts of opportunities for crossover appeal. And Swerve doesn't just speak to the Black community. He speaks to a younger, hipper audience. He and the general public is going to cover things that he is doing complete. And they got, it's catchy. You got Hooters, you got the dancing. Everybody, it gets you up, it gets you having fun. You participate. He connects, but no, they completely a swing and a miss out there. It's just,
dude. When he won the championship,
what's ever remaining of my hair out.
When he won the championship, the timing of that as well was a bit weird because he was getting all that hate about not having a black champion, for example, at that time. And then surprise, surprise, Swerve becomes champion.
Right, yeah. They were getting heat from a bunch of white nerds.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Spot on. Yeah, it's true. Bruce says, oh no, continue on, Rick.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because he brings up a funny point. After the Booker T storyline at WrestleMania, it would always be about race with Triple H. That was fucked up too. But to be fair, it didn't really bother Booker T.
I don't know. What was the story? I got to refresh my memory.
Remember WrestleMania back in 2003?
I don't remember WrestleMania a month ago.
WrestleMania 19, the main event was Triple H and Booker T for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Triple H goes over, everybody's upset, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
No, but it's what he said. The lead up to that match was pretty racial too. If you look back on it, I can't remember word for word, but there was a racial tone to it.
Storyline. It's called invoking emotion.
I know, but people fucking believe it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you're supposed to do, idiots. Right. It's supposed to kind of cut you a little deep to get those emotions stirred up. That's
true too. I know.
What we're missing.
I agree, but I can also understand how people can take that, out of context too, man. I can totally get it, because wrestling there's all these shades of gray that people are still confused about in some ways.
To me, that's what wrestling's got to be, and this is the perfect transition, Jimmy. Let's go ahead. We're going to reveal we're going to get emotions going about race tensions. We're going to reveal the new poster for Worlds Collide here.
Oh, shit.
Yes, you want emotions.
Oh, shit.
MVP, who is the third man under the hood, is that Triple H. Lucha Libre. It is the KKK taking on the Lucha Libres. You guys, this just popped me here. You can pull that down, Jimmy, so we don't get like a strike or anything like that. But, it's just some Southern Territory indie mud shark show. They're actually running the KKK. Hey, you know what? You want to get people riled up. You want to get people talking. You want to, for better or worse, you want some interest in your show, dude. I want to see what happens at this thing. I want to see how this goes down. I know you talk about the major pop when those clan members get beat up. when they get taken down.
Oh,
Or you
that's
could
heat,
or atomic heat if somehow they win that thing.
Oh my god.
Now you know what I do, man. I'd Russo this thing. I'd have the ultimate swerve. I would have those clan members be unmasked to be a black guy, a Hispanic guy, and an Asian. And on top of that, yes, it's everyone but white. But on top of that, they are also representing the LGBTQ.
Oh shit. That's
a swerve, baby. No, that's a swerve.
If that so it's Sonny Kiss under the friggin' hood.
Yes,
one of them. Yes, Orlando Jordan is the other one.
Orlando Jordan and Nyla Rose.
Oh shit. Oh, Hulk Hogan, dude.
Hulk
the third
Hogan
man.
Could be a new third man there.
Absolutely. That would fuck. That's heat. You know what I mean?
That is atomic.
That is heat. That's good.
Melt your face off heat.
That is imagine it was me, brother. Oh shit.
Well, Jimmy,
man.
Talking about Southern wrestling. Southern wrestling. This week's SmackDown coming to us from the heart and soul of Dixie down there in Knoxville, Tennessee. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Dude, I know you've never been there to Knoxville.
I have not been to Knoxville, Tennessee.
You have never been there. Other side of the world. I have.
That's
been.
true.
I have been.
You have? Is it good?
Well, hey, all the girls on campus look like Mariah May. They're all southern little bells, little blonde bombshells.
But rich ones, right? Like southern little bells, rich. Right. But, oil money in Texas. This is Tennessee.
It makes me violent when I go there. I want to just do bodily harm to myself and to others around me because you go during football season. And every 30 seconds they play that damn Rocky Top song. It drives you freaking insane, especially at the football games. You just want to go get a chair and start wailing on people.
Shout out to 3-6 Mafia, just quietly. Well, they're from Memphis, but talking about
violence. They were packed, man. They loved their wrestling down south, and record numbers sold out there for Knoxville for this week's WWE SmackDown. Jimmy, I guess a little difference of opinion this week's show. We were talking before we went to air. You were disappointed. You were let down. You were on a live watch along. You and Brandon were watching. I got up this morning. Was at the track last night. Got up early this morning to get caught up on our conversation. I didn't think it was too bad of an episode overall.
See, look, I don't know if it's because of the watch along. Sometimes, you can get distracted easily and whatnot. But I'll tell you, for me,
right,
look, it can easily be that. And I was thinking about watching it a second time, but I didn't want to watch it a second time, another 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? But in saying that, I just felt like some of the matches, like especially the three-way between Jacob Fatu, Andrede, and Mello, I felt like an hour, bro.
They did, when you have, and I think there is a benefit of catching the replays because you eliminate the commercials.
Right.
If you want to jump around a little bit, you can hit those sweet spots. But we did have 2 triple threats on this show. I haven't been a big fan, and I know we've had them for a couple of years. I've never been a big fan of these triple threat qualifiers for Money in the Bank. But
it's lazy booking.
This year it's been particularly bad because it's like, okay, we've got 2 regulars. And then out of nowhere, we got this third wheel. Like, here's who's eating a pin in this one. But
dude, it's the shittest Money in the Bank ever.
We'll
the way it's going.
We'll talk on the back end of how our build is here. And I kind of had those same little thoughts. Man, this isn't really popping with some star power as we're used to. But I did like the triple threats from last night's SmackDown as opposed to anything else that we've seen in these qualifiers. Speaking of, go ahead.
Oh, no. Actually, it's better we'll talk about that when we get there. Please continue because there's no point in me going.
Okay, so when we get to open up, hey, you want to get WWE's about creating those big pop moments. They want to get the crowd energized. So why not? We got the hometown girl, University of Tennessee, mega star, track star. She is home. She is in her safe place. She's had some hard times, man. Best friends are fighting. They just want her best friends just try to kill each other at WrestleMania. They're still fighting. She lost her first match at WrestleMania. She's hurting. She's broken. Bianca Belair needs her safe place, Rocky Top, Tennessee. So she is home. She's out cutting that promo to get everybody fired up. Lo and behold, who would you know? We were just waiting for. Here comes Naomi.
Of course.
They're walking down memory lane. Naomi still did it for Bianca. You know, she's here for her. She still wants it. You know who that's going to bring out. Get ready for the storm. Get ready for the storm. So we got this interaction, but you know what? We still got a lot of loose ends. We got to tie some things up between these three. We're eventually going to get there. We get that teaser. I got a pop for this one. Let's bring her in. The big old wrecking ball. Nia Jax is going to enter the situation. I popped to that
too. Absolutely.
I like this. You got these different stories going on here, and you've got 4 when it comes to this women's division. 4 of your heavy hitters, big time, big
legitly.
Guns. Yeah, big time, big guns here. Bianca excuses herself, so we got our first triple threat of the evening. First match qualifying for Money in the Bank, the lady spot. Only a few spots left. Big time heavy hitters here. And I like this one because we didn't have that obvious third person, that third wheel. Although I thought it was going to be Naomi. I thought
so did
if I had to single
too.
somebody out that wasn't, maybe up to par, or I didn't expect to get a win. Hey, we got some big spots in this thing. Again, heavy hitter women doing what heavy hitters do. And boom, the big surprise after missing the super bonsai squash. Naomi has the presence to get herself out of the way.
Yeah.
Takes a little extra muscle, takes her a little extra oomph in that booty to get Nia rolled over.
Oh my God, bro.
She steals it, man, for the 1, 2, 3.
That was like a whole bunch of slop just getting rolled over, bro.
Hey, imagine trying to do that. So you got to use that booty.
That was a lot of fucking meat just there. But yeah, no. Definitely, like, I was surprised. It didn't surprise me that it was legitimately Nia that took. I was actually maybe expecting Jade Cargill to take the pin, believe it or not, instead of Nia. But again, Naomi, now she wins the match. If
Naomi was going to win, it's good that you don't have her pin Jade yet.
Cargill, of course not.
That's still out there.
But so I wasn't expecting her to win though either. So,
right,
you know what I mean?
I'm with you. I wasn't sure who it was going to be, but if I was going to place any of the money, I would have probably done any money on Naomi.
I would have, if I was to place the money at the start, I would have gone with Jax, believe it or not, only because of the obvious. You know what I mean? You got already a program with Cargill and Naomi. Do we possibly get Cargill spoiling things for Naomi?
Well, we don't know. Well, because we got that teaser last week, the week before, with Jackson, Jade. So there's a lot of working parts here.
There is, and I like that. I like this. The way it all connects with these women, I actually do dig. I actually think they've done pretty decent job so far.
Yeah, so a nice surprise there. I like this opener. So we do have Naomi. She is going to be advancing on. She's going to get that opportunity. We did see her later on in the show confront the current champion, Tiffany Stratton. Naomi comes saying, hey, when she wins that Money in the Bank, she's going to cash in when she wants, where she wants. She's going to take that belt. So right now we have Naomi joining Alexa Bliss, who we saw Bliss on this show as well. A very short cameo saying, don't worry about Naomi because I'm winning. Blissy wants that Money in the Bank case, and she's going to cash in. We also have Roxanne Perez, the recent call-up. Mommy, Rhea Ripley, Julia, newest member of SmackDown, and now Naomi. We got one spot to go. I'm sure we'll find that out on Raw. I think we know where that's going anyway, but.
Yeah, for sure. Zane says, nobody wants to see Jade climb a ladder and Nia can't. Nia's been in a women's Money in the Bank, I believe. Once or twice.
I guess that's why they call him Vicious, baby.
Yeah, because he's the master and ruler of the world, Rick. If you don't know by now.
Savage, that was Vicious.
That's not a gimmick, bro. It's not a gimmick.
Naomi picks up the win. Backstage, we get Mr. C-Truth, R-Truth, Ron Cena.
Ron Cena.
He runs into the Bloodline 2.0, after a little exchange there, we get a match set up with Mateo, JC Mateo. I'm still getting used to that. It's still
fucking
weird.
stupid, bro. JC Mateo, fuck off.
So we get JC Mateo versus R-Truth. Not really much to talk about here. This is just kind of a showcase, just to let everybody know what Cobb Mateo is all about. But we do get the big pops, the big spots from R-Truth continuing on with the John Cena act.
Whatever, man. Look, I want him to go further with this. They won't, but you know, it is what it is. But he's still gold, like Bruce says.
What's that?
No, I was just saying, like, R-Truth, as much as I wanted them to go further with him, with the John Cena shit, he's still gold though, like Bruce said in the chat.
Well, he's doing the best with what they're giving him. They shotgun that just to get that match. We should have had this Ron Cena stuff playing out all through the summer as a side piece. Eventually, it became just so irritating that, it should have been kind of like that gnat. Cena just kept kind of swatting away. He's worried about other bigger things. But eventually it comes to a head like in the fall. So we get that payoff. But no, WWE, we're running events, big events every 2 weeks. Got to have these matches. So no, we're going to set it up in a stupid scrum spot, introduce the match in the interview, and then just kind of ruin it. Still a good spot.
Do you think their booking of all these PLEs every 2 to 2.5 weeks, it feels like, is affecting their booking right now?
Yeah, I mean, because you got a shotgun
hot shot shit. Yeah,
hot shot it. Where things we're not having time. It's the same as when #RBV eats out, man. You take a couple bites. You got to enjoy what you got. You just don't keep shoveling it in your mouth. Then you forget what the hell you're eating, and it all just starts tasting bad.
I know, man. Your friggin' RBV outs makes me hungry every time I see it, dude. God damn. But
right, well, Mateo picking up that big win, and I'll tell you what doesn't make me hungry, and that's the Blue Brands representation. They're booking for tag team wrestling. Does not make me hungry at all. But we got the street.
Makes you want to throw up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, stuff a finger down my throat, just throw up. That's what this is all about. But Jimmy, more of what we've regularly gotten since before WrestleMania. We've been talking about this. It's the regular tag team segment. Got the Profits out there talking about they want to defend against everybody. So cue everybody. Get everybody out there. First we get Action.
So corny,
then we got the Guns. Then we got DIY, who not if like we're sitting in creative and they got their feet kicked up, guys. What can we do? We've already got this incredible charisma vacuum known as DIY. What can we do to supercharge them? We're not sucking enough life out of these arenas. What can we do? And so, get Gargano's wife. That's what we need. Get Gargano's wife. That's not enough for you? Act now. We're going to give her a microphone.
Another one for that.
So essentially, this is a segment we get all the tag teams out there making their plea. We do get DIY. Yeah. Candace just doing the talking for him. So Ciampa gets in there, and we want to do a moment of silence. Hit the lights. Wyatt 6. Wyatt 6. You know what? I am kind of digging this direction. I like that they could add these guys to the tag division. I don't think it's going to save it in any case, but there is a little bit of hope, a glimmer of hope by adding them. You know what I really like about the addition potentially of the Wyatt 6 here is what do you get? Like with the different combinations, you could have like 5 or 6 different tag team combinations just within that group.
Please don't say that. Let's not get that. WWE, if you're listening, don't do that. Please. I don't need to see 3 lots of Wyatt 6 friggin' tag teams.
I mean, you could have like Bo and
who?
I don't know, the buzzard, Bo and the pig, Bo and the sheep.
Yeah,
and then you can have the sheep and the pig, the buzzard and the pig. I mean, there's combinations, baby.
You'd probably put him with Rowan, technically, right?
What's that?
You'd probably put him with Rowan, if anything, if they were to do that.
You could use them all. I don't know. You just doubled your tag team division just in one group.
You know what? I'm with Zane on this one, man. I'd rather have seen Hank and Tank get called up. Seriously. The Wyatt 6 for me, was it just me? Did what's his name? Bo Dallas look a little on the chunky side last night.
Uncle Howdy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Uncle Howdy. He looked a
Yes.
little
Howdy. Yes.
chunky, if you know what I mean.
I believe I heard that he
you
might
believe?
be dealing with an injury or something like that. I believe.
What is it called? Injury, fucking eating too much?
Hashtag RBV eats out. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not an athlete. I can eat if I want, but he is. All right. He's supposed to friggin'. I just feel like he's let himself go. The mask and him laughing. Just fuck that.
But then it did occur to me why we have Candice is suddenly thrown into this thing, realigned with her husband. It's just so that Sister Abigail has someone to beat up.
Cool. Sister
That's
Abigail.
Because she did attack her off of the table.
Gruss's Zane's comment is just fucking killer, man. Rotunda genetics are geneticing.
Yes. I was gonna say, well, it's not like anyone in that family has been Mr. Bodybuilder USA.
Well, that's true. That's fair. But
so we do have apparently we have the future direction of the tag division. And again, it is everybody was out there except everyone was out there except for your boys. Can I get a yes, boys?
I don't have the yes boy, unfortunately. I'll get it next time. I know. Well, speaking of the yes boys, whatever happened to them?
I was gonna say they weren't involved in this thing.
Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's the thing, man. I feel
don't know.
bad.
Is it really a punishment to be left out of this?
I guess not. Actually, you know what? If I was one of them, I'd be happy that I'm left out of it. I swear to God, I would be. But I feel bad for Montez in this, and I guess Dawkins as well. Look what they have to work with, dude. They're just so far ahead of this division of any other tag team.
Again, it's the same old. We're probably talking about it way too long, but
I know because it stresses me out, Rick.
Team wrestling. Yeah. I know, but we get more tag team wrestling because now we've got Lucha Libre on display. We got Rey Fenix. He's going to be teaming up with a little showcase NXT talent, Javon Evans, bringing his style athleticism to the blue brand. They're going to be teaming up, of course, at Worlds Collide. They're going to be opponents in that big fatal four-way for the North American Championship. But here again, they're teaming up and they're taking on Los Garza.
Los Lethargicos is what I call them.
Okay. Well, whatever you call them, man. This is a display for Lucha Libre and a big promotion spot for Worlds Collide. We also get Ethan Page on commentary. Decently length match. They give him quite a bit of time here, and it's pretty much what you expect. A lot of athleticism, a lot of big spots. But again, it was kind of a showcase, a billboard for the Lucha style.
You know, this is possibly maybe the best match of the evening. Actually, I dare say maybe. I
enjoyed the women's opener.
I did too. That's also you can argue.
I'm not an over the top Lucha Libre style guy myself, but I did.
Neither am I.
There was some time in here that I did enjoy the athleticism, especially Javon. Getting an opportunity to showcase his stuff, and I think while you have that style in the ring, I really enjoyed Page's addition to the commentary. I liked the interaction with him.
He's very underrated, dude, and I want to hate Ethan Page, but I think he's actually quite good, dude. I don't know what it is about him.
My pop of the night came from this match, and it's just something that Page said in passing. He said he looked over at Wade and he said, "Is this crowd seriously chanting? This is awesome just because I'm out here on commentary with you." So that got me, man. It's just those little zingers.
He gets so good it, man.
At what he can do. We were talking about how well-rounded Mariah May is earlier. You will talk about well-rounded, someone that can bring everything you want to the table. That 5-tool all-star, the it factor. That's Page here.
100%, dude. He's literally the guy you get off the bench. Your 10th man basically, or your 5th man, whatever you want to say. He's definitely the guy that is probably the best bench player, one of the best bench players in WWE if you need him to, because you can slot him anywhere.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? He really has those intangibles that really reminds you of like the Miz. You can put him in any situation.
You know what?
He's going to deliver for you.
I dare say he can be better than The Miz because he's got a lot of the way he does it reminds me of a very old school sort of way, if you know what I mean. Like he's very in tune with
it's hard to be better than Miz when you look at the business aspect of what that guy's been doing for longevity. I saw another meme going around. The Miz just broke the record for the most losses in a career in WWE. People were making fun of him on that. I said that's a major accomplishment that has been there that long, that they thought he was relative enough to put in television and important enough, and they trust him enough to get things done for him.
Oh, absolutely, man. I used to hate The Miz for many, many years, but he's earned my respect. You know what I mean? He's a Hall of Famer, dude. I hate to say it, but he really is.
Wow,
he actually is.
Shut your mouth. Yeah. I mean, you love The Miz. You love him. But anyway, a little bit of a surprise here. I think that I would agree with this. Probably thinking Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix go over easy in this one, but it's a good long match. Hey, hook or crook, get it done. Your boys, what do you call them? I don't know. But Garza, Los
Lethargicos.
They get the win, man. Lethargicos,
but why?
Win. Hey, hook or crook. Why not? Because it's Paige adding heat to that match, that fatal four-way.
I know, but weren't they recently
two of his challenges?
But weren't they teasing recently about them splitting up?
Yeah, they were fighting like 2 weeks ago, so I guess they have buried the hatchet there. They are focused on Worlds Collide. Picked up a big win here. That is a distant what happening here in this match. This is about building heat towards that big fatal four-way.
Well, yeah, fuck that storyline, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no one really cared about it. So
I know. No, you're right.
More
I didn't give a
important
shit.
Hey, they're brothers. So they're trying to get back on the same page. They got that we hyped that fatal four-way.
Why not? But like Zane says, because SmackDown has a mystery consultant. I wonder who it is.
Brother?
Is it you, Zane?
I know it got a little blotchy there for a second.
Is it me or you, Rick? I can't tell.
Uh-oh.
Hey, guys, who's Walden right now? Yeah, I think we're fine. There's a little delay, though, suddenly.
Yeah, something there. Again, we pissed off the Saudis. Apparently, we pissed off Triple H, the cartel. So we keep getting hit on those things. But we do. Maybe we need to get some protection from the Secret Service to watch our backs. But they got their hands full here because we have got Zelina Vega versus Alba Fire. I guess the only thing to really talk about here is the wonderful Miss Chelsea Green. She's got a new accessories after she got her face broken. She's got that nose piece on, but she tries to bring it into play here. Accidentally hits Piper with it, exposes herself. Man, she's looking gnarly, man. So swollen up, so bruised up. But Zelina Vega, as they put over on commentary, she continues to somehow find a way to get it done. She picks up the win over Alba Fire.
Yeah, and like you brought up about Chelsea looking gnarly, you know what I like? She wasn't even wearing makeup though either, so she sold that friggin' black eye, broken nose, that botched 619 that Zelina Vega did, unfortunately, onto Chelsea Green from Saturday night's main event. But that's how much of a pro she is, dude. The way she's selling that, she's another one. She gets it. She might look like, she's kind of like corny out of all the women, but she's meant to be that. Don't get me wrong.
No, she's great. Absolutely makes gold out of everything given to her. She's recently talked about that. Even if she doesn't have a title or she's not in a title picture, she's going to make the most of everything. That. Kelsey on a stick could be one of the most over things in the arenas right now.
100% agree, man.
You got the face guard. She's rocking it. It looks great. I didn't really care for the color scheme on it. She had like the Mexican flag colors. Give me the red, white, and blue on that girl. That's what I want to see. Especially as we got Independence Day right around the corner. We need our great Canadian U.S. champ.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That red, white, and blue. But again, Vega picks up the win. I don't think we were surprised there, but it is more about the antics of our heels there, especially Chelsea. Always entertaining. So right now, let's see here. Our entertainment, our wow factor for this SmackDown. Obviously, our truth up in the running. Ethan Page doing a great job. Chelsea. So we've got some very entertaining bit players.
Definitely,
that
dude.
we can keep
Definitely.
our eye on the blue brand. Hey, we're having fun with those three. A lot of fun with those three. But Damian Priest is out. He wants to talk, and he's not so much in the mood for having fun. He's feeling good after he is disposed, and he is ready to look forward after his big win, that steel cage beatdown that he gave Drew McIntyre. It looks like Damian Priest now has his sights set. Maybe this could be a mistake, Jimmy. I don't know who the hell wants to go pick a fight with a werewolf. But hey, you better be one big bad Metro taker if you're going to go hunt a werewolf. That's what Damian
Metro
Priest
taker,
is going to do. He's got his sights set on Jacob Fatu, brother.
I hope Jacob Fatu annihilates him straight up. But after we saw what happens within his match, I'm not sure anymore. Rick, you're frozen, I think.
No,
there you are.
I was just striking a pose, baby.
Oh, well, it looked like you were frozen there for a minute. But I hope Fatu beats the living daylights out of fucking metrosexual taker. You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean, seriously.
We'll we do get the passing here. We get the tease, but I tell you, two guys that Fatu was looking to beat the piss out of. One, Carmella Hayes with The Miz. We did have an interaction backstage with them. Carmelo saying, this is about him. It's been about him. He's one of the best. He's going to show he can perform. Irritating The Miz a little bit. Miz has done a lot for him, man. He's been eating black masses, getting his butt kicked, working his butt off, trying to get him big matches, putting him in big spots. This is about them as a team. Mello still wants it to be about him. But we got Mello in this triple threat. Jacob Fatu and Andrade. Again, this is a Money in the Bank qualifier. This one was a little bit of a surprise. And again, I did not see the winner coming out of this one.
Well, look, it's obvious why this is all happening now that I think about it, right? I mean, think about why all these friggin' guys that shouldn't be in the Money in the Bank are actually getting into Money in the Bank. All because of Seth freaking Rollins, bro. That's why. He's the one that's going to win Money in the Bank amongst a whole week sidecast, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, but okay, but even if it isn't the most spectacular rundown, your roster here, but when you could have put those individuals in there. Right now, we've got Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, LA Knight and Penta, the megastar. Penta's been sweeping the universe by storm. There. You got Rollins, as you had mentioned, and now Andrade, and we are going to have another qualifier coming up Monday on Raw. So I don't know. It's not too bad. I guess you do want to give some guys an opportunity to go out there, show what they can do. Not everybody is going to win Money in the Bank, but if you get an opportunity to be in that match, to go out there and hit a big pop, hit a big spot to get the people talking about you, that could be something for somebody like an Andrade. My question is, this does seem to come out of nowhere with him. I think, I don't know, just to throw out like a Karrion Kross would have been much better in a spot like that.
I'm still confused about Kross as well, still at this point, even though they're teasing still with Kross, but I don't know what they're doing there. But as far as Andrade goes, I get it, man. He's a great in-ring talent. Heck, I was a fan of Andrade, the Cien Almas version of Andrade. You know what I mean? Like his first run in WWE. But, at the time when Zelina was his manager, it just worked. Like them two were a good pairing. Do you know what I mean? He didn't have to talk.
Yeah,
she done all the talking.
Everything clicked together.
Right.
Everything clicked together. Where they at now, Andrade, let's say, Andrade didn't come out here and just like dominate to pick up a win over Carmelo, who's had some success, winning the Andre, regularly used on television, where we haven't seen Andrade that much. Well, he's been interacting with the other Hispanics there with that build towards Worlds Collide, which might be another reason here that we've got Andrade. You kind of tie all those together. You want to have as many Hispanics on that big day, that big rundown day in those featured spots. It's just good for biz, I guess. But you've got a lot of other participation in the close of this match. We got Mateo back out there. We got Solo back out there. We've got Big Jim. He's involved in this thing. They might forget somebody. I feel like there was someone else that
it was a schmoz, bro.
Here late. But yeah,
LA Knight as well.
These distractions. I don't believe so. I don't think there was.
Yeah, probably not. I
No
can't
white
remember
guys.
now, but
No white guys at this party. I know the Miz was South, but anyway, Andrade does pick this up. So I'm thinking maybe that's why, because you've got that big day. You're looking to appeal more. You're showing that involvement with AAA, that style, that Lucha Libre style. So you want those familiar faces.
or do you think Triple H is just playing to the marktards that have been complaining about Andrade?
Have they? I haven't seen anybody. I haven't seen anybody missing.
Oh, I've seen people.
I've seen people
complain.
complaining about things, but nothing overwhelming that would.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Like
I've seen it,
and I'm not trying to take anything away from Andrade. I think he's an incredible talent. I think if you had that proper build and the key elements around him, yeah. But this just seems like out of nowhere.
That's what I mean. It's lazy. Like they don't know what to do with him. Really, they actually don't. So this is their way of masking that they don't know what to do, man. They just don't know how to book him. They really don't. And I feel like Rusev is also in that sort of spot. He's getting there very. You watch, they're not going to do much with Rusev anytime soon.
Well, even at least they're doing things with Rusev. It might be, moving along a little slower, progressing, not as fast paced as we'd like, but at least they're doing something. This again just seems to come out of nowhere.
They've over recruited, dude. I feel like there's too many guys now as well, and not enough spots. Hence why Cross is probably also not getting anything properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. Again, why we're going to watch these call-ups. We've got to watch things like that because there's not a lot of time to be distributed, which is puzzling because you got a 3-hour show. And
right.
we pick up the pace a little bit, we could get a lot of more people in.
And speaking of 3-hour show, you can kiss 2 hours of SmackDown goodbye, folks. WWE just gaslit us. Absolutely gaslit us. Triple H gaslit us. WWE gaslit us. Yeah. We're staying with 3 hours, peeps. For good.
Sons of bitches. But it was, hey, you get through those long 3 hours and it brings you to moments like this because we got our closing segment, our featured segment of the evening. And yeah, we saw him last week. Made his return on Saturday night's main event, but now he's here to officially address the WWE universe in a wild packed house at Knoxville, Tennessee. So what do you want to talk about? Cody Rhodes is back. He is back, and he's got his mind right. He had to figure out where he was going. He sucked up some advice from an old friend that let him know you were a great champion. You did a great job, kid. You got to get ready to move forward. And he's not going to take anything from John Cena for granted. He's going to keep his head on that swivel. Expect everything, the unexpected, anything that Cena could throw at him. But also, Cody's got a little surprise for everybody. He says that crowd, they look hungry. And he asks them if they want to eat. And he brings out Jey Uso. They're going to be teaming up at Money in the Bank. And, surprise, surprise, they're interrupted by their opponents. John Cena's out to run down the duo. It's pretenders. They're wannabes.
I mean.
Which popped me a little bit. I don't know if it was intended.
That popped me, bro.
Well,
that fucking popped me.
It's Cena, the King wannabe from back in the day.
Yeah, it's true.
But
he made them both look silly, dude. The way he was saying it was actually quite funny.
I guess. But again, to me, and I guess I haven't listened to the Friday Locker Room. I guess a lot of that verbiage is what Ben had suggested. But do you continue to want to make your baby faces look so stupid?
Why not? It's 2025. It's any way these days now, Rick. That's why I've given up, bro.
And then Logan Paul, he joins the party because, as Cena says, he's the only one. His partner, Logan Paul, is the only one that truly, in this day and age, represents loyalty, hustle, respect. What that means to go out there and claim your own fame, not these two pretenders. So we get the back and forth. We get the dueling microphones. Go polish your peacemaker, as Cody says it, before all hell breaks loose. And we got fisticuffs back and forth here, and Paul ends up eating a couple of those signature spots there from the baby faces. Your thoughts?
I loved this until Logan Paul made his way because he wouldn't shut the fuck up, dude. He just kept going and going and going. I felt like they gave the mic way too long to Logan. You know what I mean? He was just talking too much. You know what I mean? So he got what he deserved. But a lot of the shit that was said here, I kind of like, it had a big feel though to it, this segment, which I like. I just don't know if the Cena Logan Paul partnership is really going to work. Problem with that, as they teased it in this segment, wouldn't that make John Cena automatically be babyface though if he turns on Logan?
I don't know so much into that. There could have been some bait because you've seen, they kind of suckered the baby faces in there. I think I do like the pivot. As we had heard for a while, this was supposed to be a Travis Scott spot. They were highly disappointed in his development or just complete lack of trying is what we've heard from some of the rumors.
I don't know what to believe when it comes to that, but yeah.
I think it's big. And I think when you add Logan Paul into this thing, it's going to really, this match does intrigue me. Are we going to get those big high spots from Logan Paul, or is Cena going to kind of pull him back a little bit because the Cena matches have not been delivering on big spots? True. It's been more of the classic old school, slow pacing, storytelling, get those signature things in. Cena finds a way to get it done and get out of here. I think there is an intrigue, which they tease a little bit there. How will these styles mesh between these two? A lot of egos on that that heel side.
Absolutely. And that's why it's just not going to work out, I just feel. But that's why I'm intrigued by it. I'm just not sure if they know what they're doing by doing this in that sense. It would have been better, though, obviously, if Travis Scott was part of this tag match. I feel like this was meant to be the spot for Travis Scott.
Well, that's what we had heard, but apparently he is nowhere near that. A lot of heat with him. So,
well, what do they expect? I mean, if he's been training?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. That was the case. He wasn't doing anything.
Oh, that's different then. That's a different story then. If that's the case, time to get fucked.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of sucks? You make an investment, you give this guy these big spots, you just really, you anger a lot of your fans, not necessarily because he was an outsider, a rapper and all that, just because he was the wrong person. It was such a letdown on all those deliveries, but you're thinking at least give a payoff, the comeuppance where this guy just gets his ass handed to him. But in a match sense, I don't really see where there have been anything, him and Cena versus Jey and Cody left. I mean, at least this one here, you've got top athletes, you got top stars. They're going to go in whatever case, how they ever put this thing together. I think it's going to be entertaining. You got big egos from the heels. Could something go wrong there with the babies? That's where you got this intrigue. These guys, that are thrown together in teams, a sense because, well, the babies, they're former tag team champs. They got that history.
Yeah, definitely. No, for sure. Look, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun match, I'm sure. But like you said, I'm more intrigued if Cena's going to keep Paul grounded and not, be a spot monkey basically and do any high spots. Keep it boring per se. But we'll see.
Maybe he starts trying to get that momentum. He's going for those and Cena stops him. So no. I'm going to coach you. This is how we're doing this.
We should frustrate Paul.
Or you could have the ultimate swerve there, and the final boss makes a reemergence, and Cody turns on Jey and finally accepts the offer to sell his soul and starts going for the World Heavyweight Championship.
No, I think it'll piss a lot of people off if that happened, though.
Throwing it out.
Think about it.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, cool, but it's too messy now. Just don't even touch it for the rest of the year. It's too messy right now, Rick. How do you fix that shit, bro?
Well, here, I'll tell you how we fix it. We tune in this week to see what they've got in store because we got go home week to a big stack, maybe a little two stacked next Saturday. Again, you got Worlds Collide starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. That goes into a pre-show for Money in the Bank. Then you got Money in the Bank in the evening. Going to be a long Saturday next week. We'll be back at some point next week, and we'll have to figure out the best time to slide this show in. If it be hype, if it be recaps, or just be to sit in Sunday and take it all in.
Well, I'll definitely do a review of When Worlds Collide and, of course, Money in the Bank.
But we'll probably have watch-alongs as well. So you want 100%. To keep your eyes on the channel for all those updates. Jimmy, all right, so as we talked about it here, overall, though, did it change your opinion about SmackDown last night?
Not really. Because the thing that annoyed me was Jacob Fatu being in the match. that he was in for so long and couldn't get the job. Like, you know, they've built him up as a big monster, but couldn't get the job done against two other guys that he should have really got the job done. So I'm a little disappointed when it comes to that. The show, I guess, built things, obviously, to Money in the Bank. It just seemed a little too bland for me. It just dragged on. It was too much, in my opinion.
All right. I enjoyed last night. One of the worst of shows. I just think it is a little difficult because we are just full throttle on everything. You can't really digest what just happened from last week's Saturday night's main event because we got to get into these two big events that are coming up, you know. And then after that, we got more events. We're going to keep covering it with more and more Smack Attacks and all the other programming here at the Hameen Media Group each and every day. Easiest way
Absolutely.
The easiest way to do it is just make sure you're subscribed and you're getting those alerts. Or if you miss it, you get Channel Attitude. Anytime.
$5 is all it is. ChannelAttitude.com. Yeah. Speaking of that, though, Rick, tell them what you're up to and what you're doing, man, as we take the show home.
I'm ready for some hashtag RBV Eats Out. And if you got some good RBV Eats Out photos of yourself, hey, find me on Twitter at RBV Media or Richard Bronson Bakery on Facebook, man. Give me a tag. Oh, yeah. Got to put this over. SOBs, RBV equals ratings. Number two in Apple Pro Wrestling Podcasting.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Power Trip, baby.
Congratulations.
Only second to Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah.
Lady Balls. We couldn't overtake Lady Balls, but we'll take number 2. Congratulations, Paz, 2-man Power Trip, man, on that great accomplishment there. But no surprise since I've joined the team that we're up that high.
I tuned into the latest 10 count. Funny enough, Rick. Great show as per usual. I love the 30-minute quick time sort of show, which is brilliant. But shout out to Paz once again and congratulations, man. Because, I mean, he's earned it. He's been around for a long time, man. He's not just anybody. He is the man himself, Paz. So, yeah, congratulations once again to the 2-man Power Trip. And congratulations even to you too, Rick, because, I mean, you're part of it too. Yeah. So, yeah, man. That's cool. But as far as I go, if you want to follow me, you can at DJ Mass Effects. But follow me also at the PWC Network on Twitter because that's how I can interact via that one for now. I'm still trying, believe it or not. They're pissing me off Twitter, but whatever. It is what it is. Also, like and subscribe right here at the Media Group's YouTube channel. You won't be disappointed with all the shows. We've got so much content coming through, obviously, from last week with the Saturday night's main event, Smack Attack special with myself and, of course, RBV, where we broke that down. And all the watch-alongs with Brandon, obviously, you know, the I Like a Raw show with myself and Big Ray Hernandez every Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. And, of course, tomorrow morning, where it's myself and the vet for The Wreckage, where unfortunately, or fortunately for us, we have to break down all of AEW, not just from the week, but also double or nothing. So you're going to get literally double instead of nothing when it comes to us here at our Media Group. And, of course, like and subscribe at channelattitude.com, where $5 not only do you get the best, but also the realest talk in all of wrestling. And that's a wrap, Rick. So I think we take it home. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, R to the B to the V. And you've been listening and watching the Smack Attack right here on Hameen Media Group's YouTube channel. And, of course, channelattitude.com after the fact. Till next time, we're out. Peace.
This is Channel Attitude. Your voice, your right, your freedom.